Hello, citizens of YouTube land.
Hey.
It's your president and your VP, and we are back once again with some more wrestling pay-per-view reviews for you guys.
Yep. Of our favorite brand, NWA.
Which stands for the National Wrestling Alliance.
For all of you new viewers out there watching this in the future.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen our past two.
Yeah, if you haven't checked out our past two NWA reviews, go check them out. They're pretty good. You'll enjoy them. Trust us.
Yep. So today we are doing two pay-per-views and one review. NWA Power and NW 73. 73 is going to be a good one, folks. I can tell you that one right now.
Fun fact, NWA Empower is the first ever all-women's pay-per-view produced exclusively by a woman.
Mickie James.
Yes, Mickie James of WWE fame and TNA fame, and now a free agent on the wrestling scene.
Yeah, and she also happens to be married to Nick Aldis.
Anyways, guys,
that evil laugh of yours, Dad.
And NWA Empower marked the return of professional wrestling to the Chase in St. Louis, so that was huge too. Standing room only crowd of about 800 people. It was produced by Lightning One Productions, which is William Patrick Corgan's production company. And so let's just get into some of the... It was a co-branded pay-per-view as well. It was NWA, but there was also stars from AEW and Impact Wrestling and AAA as well.
Mm-hmm. So we're going to gloss over a few of the wrestling matches because, honestly, some of them, they weren't even really that important, but other ones, they were important. So what about the triple threat match at the beginning? You want to talk about that one? The battle of the brands for Empower?
Yeah, I do, because it was... I actually kind of forgot who won.
It was the person from AEW.
Yeah. So we'll just say that. The lady from AEW picked up the win, but that's not what I really want to talk about. I really want to talk about this cool spot that was in the match where two lady wrestlers were trying to do a backslide, and then another one kind of pushed them down, and there was a double backslide sequence. It was a pretty cool spot.
It was. It was really cool, but yeah, in the end, the AEW representative wound up winning the Battle of the Brands. You had NWA, AAA, and AEW who were, or actually, no, I think it was Impact. I don't think it was AAA.
Yeah, the Impact, the Knockouts champion, I do know, retained her title against Melina. Her name was Deonna Purrazzo. And for those of you who don't know, Melina is also a professional wrestling legend. Hadn't spent several years in WWE as part of the M&M, and then later by herself, former Divas champion. You know her credentials, guys. Anyways, it was a pretty hard-fought match. The story of that match was Melina trying to overcome her knee injury, but in the end, it just didn't happen.
Yeah. So then let's talk about the NWA Women's Heavyweight match.
Wait. Before we talk about that, let's talk about the fact that we now have, for the first time ever,
the Women's Tag Team Championships back by... a group of ladies known as the Hex, which is Allison Kay and Marty Bell making the return back to NWA.
Which also marks the first time ever that the NWA has recognized a Latino, or in this case, a Latina, as a world champion.
Yeah, from the Dominican Republic, because there have been prior Latino...
Well, for those of you in the know, there is a story about how a man by the name of Victor Jovica defeated Ric Flair for the NWA World's title, but there was some controversy and the reign was not recognized. So Marty Bell's reign now as the World Women's Tag Team Champions is the first ever recognition of such. Then let's talk about the fact that our undefeated, reigning and defending NWA World's Women's Champion beat legit Layla Hirsch to retain her title.
And another AEW representative.
Yeah, so AEW was all over this, but I will say that the NWA basically protected themselves for the most part. You know, it was NWA stars pretty much going over, which is the way you kind of felt it should have been. Then we also had the main event, which was Chelsea Green winning this gauntlet-style Royal Rumble women's rumble, basically, where they all got in the ring at once.
It was an invitational.
After 90 seconds, they came in, and then... Yeah, it was 2 minutes. After 2 minutes, they came in, and it was by pinfall or submission only. So it was Royal Rumble where only pinfalls and submissions count.
Mm-hmm.
And Chelsea Green's the one that ended up winning, and she became the champ, or she got a title shot against Camille at NWA 73.
Which segues into NWA 73. Let's talk about that one, shall we?
We shall. Oh my goodness, guys. What a fun card, up and down.
Yeah, let's see here. You had the first match called the Brawl in the Lou, where you had three men. It was it wasn't James Storm, sorry. It was Tim Storm, Tom Latimer, and I think it was Crimson.
Yes.
And you had Jax Dane. Before the match started, Jax Dane came from behind, attacked Crimson, and then basically eliminated him
with a Death Valley driver through a freaking ladder, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, this match was crazy. It had chair shots.
You had Tom Latimer doing a swanton bomb off of a ladder, a 20-foot ladder, onto Tim Storm, who's laying on
a guardrail. It wasn't a table. It was a freaking metal guardrail, guys.
And
this
so cool.
This match was insane. By the way, Tim Storm ended up picking up the win in the end. So, you know, it was a real nice old school brawl that really suited to Tim, who's getting up there in the years. The man's like 53. So, yeah, I know some of you guys are thinking, wow, 53 years old. You guys got a lot of old guys on your roster. Well, yes, the NWA does have some legends, but for the most part, they can all still go. And the one that can't, Austin Idol, he's a talker, so.
Yeah. So, yeah, you have the Brawl in the Lou. The next up, I think, was the Tag Team Championship, which I want to talk about.
Yeah.
The Tag Team Championship match, which was Aaron Stevens and Kratos versus La Rebellion, which everybody knows that's Mecha Wolf and Bastay Say, or the B666 is his English translation. So
guys, this was an old school tag team affair where they got the heat on Aaron Stevens, and there was the big hot tag. You had the babyface in peril. Lots of fun spots. La Rebellion picks up the win after I'd say, what was it, about 20 minutes or so?
Yeah. So it was basically their finisher that they do, which is how they won. It's like this devastating move where you have, I think it's Bastay Say on the top turnbuckle. He comes up and he basically like.
And we might also add that La Rebellion was accompanied to the ring by none other than Conan, guys, another professional wrestling legend. He got on the mic. He said wrestling's inclusive now. You know. It's for Latinos. It wasn't that way when he started. It's for, you know, everybody under the sun. Minorities, too. And, guys, like what you like. It's great out there. There's a lot of good wrestling. So I encourage you to go out and search it out. In particular, yeah, pay attention to the NWA, because all the way with NWA.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the main event.
Not just yet.
Okay.
Let's talk about Camille's second match with Chelsea Green.
Yeah.
It was
Camille, who's well known for just basically power strikes, power moves. One of her main moves is the spear. That's pretty much her finisher. But in this match, she focused on the wrist injury of Chelsea Green, and in the end, forced her to tap out. First time ever using a submission move
to win. And then we got Chelsea Green becoming the hot mess.
Yeah, which is, guys, I haven't paid too much attention to it. I don't know that much about it. But from what I understand, Chelsea Green had played a similar character in TNA. Which, now, I'm just going to still call him TNA because it's much easier than saying Impact. But anyways, yeah, same kind of thing. Now bringing the gimmick into NWA. Let's see where it goes.
Yeah. So now let's talk about the main event.
Oh, yes. Let's talk about the main event.
Trevor Murdoch. Nick Aldis 4, I should say.
A story that's been going for 2 years running, guys. This thing has been building for 2 years, and we finally got the payoff for it.
Well, it hadn't been building for 2 years. It was been building since Back for the Attack.
Well, no. They hadn't really touched upon it, but son, from the video package, remember they talked about how Trevor Murdoch was an early opponent for Nick Aldis on NWA Power. And,
oh yeah.
Yeah, so they went back to that, and that's good storytelling, guys. They gave us all of the snippets that we needed to really fulfill what was to come.
Yeah.
I want to talk about the fact that for, I'd say, a good 5 minutes straight, they were brawling outside of the ring.
I'd say it'd be more like 10 minutes.
But they were brawling.
But before the match, for 10 minutes, they were outside and they were brawling and stuff, and it was Nick Aldis. And they were brawling in the audience, and up at the ramp they were brawling. And then you had William Patrick Corgan. He came out, and
it was kind of funny.
It was kind of funny and stuff, you know. Then you also have Conspiracy Corgan, and that whole in joke and stuff. But anyways, so then finally they get back into the actual match starts. Nick Aldis, he tries everything. He tries everything. He even tries pulling.
He even hits the tombstone at one point, in which I'm like, that's it. Because you know what comes next. The elbow drop, the Kingsland Cloverleaf. But no, that's not what happened.
So then, finally, after just this really long, grueling match, you then finally get Trevor Murdoch. He goes to the top rope. He's getting ready to do his finisher, and he does. He hits the Bulldog. 1, 2, 3. Trevor Murdoch wins, and we get a new NWA World's Heavyweight Champion.
Yes, guys, and this is very significant because it was in St. Louis, and as some of you guys know, maybe you don't know, but I'll tell a little bit of a wrestling story for you, a little bit of history knowledge on you. Trevor Murdoch is a Missouri boy, and we're from Missouri. Specifically, we live in Branson, Missouri, for those of you guys who didn't know. And Trevor is actually from Eldon, Missouri, which is up by Lake of the Ozarks. So this was a hometown hero, the babyface getting the big win, the feel-good moment. It could only end that way. And let's also give a big shout-out, big kudos to Nick Aldis for the amazing job he did and his amazing 1,044-day reign as the NWA World's Champion.
But all great reigns have to come to an end, and that day was that day.
And guys, we'll see you next time on the next NWA pay-per-view. But until then, hey, if you bought the pay-per-view and you demanded your money back because it was the worst pay-per-view that you ever saw, well, you're wrong.
And you're stupid for even thinking that.
Yeah, but hey, just remember, we're just two idiots with a cell phone camera. Our opinions do not matter, except they actually do, because we have a YouTube show. Except they actually don't. So, having said all that, guys, we'll see you guys on the next NWA pay-per-view. But until then, yeah, or these
next video.
Hey, I'm doing a... okay, next video for those of you who are regular followers. Next time for those of you who only watch our wrestling reviews. How about that?
Okay.
So, having thrown that in there, and hey guys, I guess there's only one thing left to say, and that is... Peace and love from Denny and Son. Bye!